If you've retired early, you're already retired, or you're simply planning your retirement finances and you're under the age of 75, then this video could put thousands of extra pounds into your retirement fund. It's all cash available to you if you know this one simple trick. And the interesting part? This is money that HMRC is perfectly happy to give you if you understand this one simple pension rule that many people completely overlook once they stop working. Most people assume that once they stop earning, pension contributions stop making sense. After all, pensions are about tax relief. And if you're not paying tax anymore, what's the point? But that assumption can cost you £720 a year, every year, for as long as the rules stay as they are. And over time, that really adds up. So we all know pensions are incredibly tax efficient while you're working. Normally, you can contribute up to the amount you earn. That's subject to the annual allowance, which for most people is £60,000 and includes tax relief from HMRC as long as you're under 75. But here's where things start to get interesting. If you're under 75 and earning less than £3,600 per year, you can still contribute to a personal pension. You're allowed to pay in up to £2,880 per tax year, and HMRC will automatically add 25% on top. So if you contribute the maximum amount of £2,880 per tax year, then they'll top that up to £3,600. That £720 is tax relief, even if you're not paying tax at all. Most personal pensions and SIPPs claim this tax relief at source, meaning you put in £2,880 and the extra £720 simply appears in your pension. It really is that straightforward, though it's always worth checking with your provider to make sure that they operate relief at source. So you're thinking, that's fine if I'm working or earning a little bit, but what does that have to do with retirement? Well, here's the key point. There is currently no minimum earnings requirement to make these contributions. So, if you've retired early or you're deliberately keeping your income low for tax reasons, this rule doesn't disappear. As long as you are below the age of 75 and using a qualifying personal pension, then you can still contribute £2,880 per year and receive that £720 top-up from HMRC. Now let's talk about access, because this is important. This money sits inside your pension, just like any other contribution has done. And if you're at or above the normal minimum pension age, which is currently 55, rising to 57 in 2028, then it can be accessed in the normal way. That is 25% tax-free and the rest taxable depending on your income. And if you're able to keep your total taxable income below the personal allowance, it's possible to receive tax relief on the way in and pay no tax when you eventually withdraw it, depending on your circumstances. This is not about putting money in today and pulling it straight back out as a loophole. For most people, these contributions on their own wouldn't be enough to live off anyway. This works best as part of normal retirement drawdown planning, especially if you're managing your taxable income carefully. This strategy doesn't suit everyone equally, so let's be clear about who benefits most. This is particularly powerful if you've retired early and are living off ISAs, cash, or already drawing down on your pension investments. Or you're taking a career break, working part-time, or you're deliberately keeping income below personal allowance levels. If you're a couple and both of you can use this hack, then suddenly that £720 a year becomes £1,440 a year coming from HMRC. On its own, £720 doesn't sound life-changing, but let's put that into context. If you do this for 10 years, then HMRC will have added £7,200 to your retirement savings. That's before any investment growth inside the pension. Even at modest growth, that £7,200 could become £10,000 or more over time. And early retirees often miss this. They think once you stop earning, pensions feel like something you leave behind. But the rules don't stop just because work does. There are a few common mistakes worth mentioning. The first is assuming this only applies if you're working. It doesn't. It's for retired people as well, as long as you're under 75. The second is assuming all pension providers allow flexible drawdown. Some older schemes don't, so it's worth checking as well. And the third mistake is trying to treat this as a quick cash loophole. You also shouldn't use the money taken from your 25% tax-free lump sum to fund this without checking the rules first. Used sensibly, this is a slow, boring, reliable way to add thousands of pounds to your retirement fund. Please check current rules for what is allowed, and if in doubt, speak to a regulated tax advisor to help you. This is exactly why understanding pension rules after you stop working is just as important as understanding them before you retire. Small rules quietly applied over time often make the biggest difference. We are planning to use this tax hack during our early retirement by continuing with our pension contributions, albeit at this lower level of £2,880 per year per person. This is not accounted for in our monthly retirement numbers, as the rules could change by then. So this is extra money that will be available to us during retirement, and as long as we keep under the personal allowance for income, then it will be tax-free when we withdraw it. If you've retired early, or you're planning to, I would love to know, are you still contributing to a pension, or did you stop once you left work? And if you haven't retired yet, were you even aware that you could still contribute with no income? Let me know below. If you stayed with me to the end, then I hope you enjoyed this content and consider subscribing if early retirement and simple money rules are your thing. And I will see you in the next one.